students, let's take today parameter passing to the user defined function. So we have already seen what is function and what are the different types of function. Next we are going to see the parameter passing to the functions. There are two types of parameter passing to the functions, call by value and call by reference. When you use the call by value, which means we are going to pass the value to the formal parameters through actual parameters. So we know that the calling function will have the actual parameter, called function will have the formal parameters. That is, the calling function will be in your main function. This main function will have the actual parameter value. Okay, so when we are going to pass this value into the formal parameters, the function which is used in the called function or function definition, that will not affect the value that is stored in the actual parameter. Okay, that is what is called by values. When we go for a call by reference, here the actual parameter value will be affected. Okay, inside this function, the address is stored to access the actual argument used in this call. This means the changes made to the formal parameter will affect the actual parameter, right? Let's see an example. So the parameter function called by value. Here we are going to pass the value. We have seen so many problems called by different types of function by passing the arrow parameters. Similar same way, here also we are going to pass the two parameters, x is equal to 10, y equal to 20. So swap x comma y. So we are going to pass 10 and 20. What is swap concept? The logic behind the swap is we are going to interchange the value, that is 10 as 20 and 20 as 10. Okay, for that we have used a called function, that is a sub function or subroutine void swap int a comma b. This value will be passed to a comma b. For that, what is the logic used? We are going to use it one temporary variable. That temporary will be holding the first variable value. Next, the first variable value will be holding the second variable value. Then the second variable value will be holding the temporary value. Thus, we are swapped the two variables. This is the logic behind the swapping of two variables. Okay, so this program is swapping of two variables. See here, we are passing the 10 and 20. Okay, so after passing this 10 and 20, we have swapped it. But when you see the output here, it will not be affected. See here, 10 and 20 is before swap, after swap is also same value. Okay, if you want to change the value, if you want to see that the actual parameter value should be changed, then we have to use the pointer concept. I already told during the function concept, this is called as an actual parameters, this is called as a formal parameters, this is called as an actual parameters. These two are stored separately. So we have four different spaces for storing: a, b, x and y. So whatever the value you are changed for the x, it will not affect a, right? If you want to change the value, that should be affected in the same way. For example, if you want to change the value 10 as a 20, then we need to go for call by reference, which is what is meant by reference. For using this reference, we use the pointer concept. What is pointer? Pointer is a variable holds the memory address of another variable of same type, which means same data type. See, integer a equal to 10. This is an integer variable for which has a value 10. For storing that, p equal to ampersand a, which is ampersand means address of an operator. What is an address of an operator? A. So whatever the value you are storing in the a will be stored by the pointer variable. For that pointer variable, we need to give star, right? This is the syntax for the pointers. Next, see here, Here also same program, int main, int x is equal to 10, y equal to 20. Instead of passing the value directly x comma y, okay, we are passing the address of an operator. We are directly passing the storage space, that is ampersand x and ampersand y, which means where the value of x is where the value of 10 is stored in x, right? We are directly passing the address itself. So whatever the value you are changed in that address, it will be reflected. So after this, this function will call this. Here also we have to use the pointer variable. Already I said, for changing the values, we should use the pointer variables instead of normal variable. So integer star a, integer star b. This star is nothing but a pointer. Here is, since it is a x is an integer data type, we need to give integer data type. Then int temp equal to star a equal to star b equal to temp. This is swapped. After swapping this function, if you see the output, the value will be changed. So the x value will be 20 and 10, right? Are you clear now? So there are two types of parameter passing, that is call by value and call by reference. In call by value, you can just pass the values directly using the variable names. Here we are going to pass the value using the address of an operator. So whatever you are going to store it in that particular memory space or a storage space will be taken as an input and in the calculation is performed. Next, as a summary of the function, we have seen what is function, what are the types of function, and passing the values to the function. As a summary, we are going to see, so function should have three different parameters. First, function definition, function call. Third one is a function declaration. And what is the advantages of using function? It reduces the repetition of same statements in the program. The function makes code readable. There is no fixed number of calling function. It can be called any number of times. The function reduces the size of the program. The disadvantages cannot return multiple values. Memory and time overhead is due to stack frame allocation and transfer the program control. So the control will be moved from one main program to another program and sub programs and so on. So that takes the time. Thank you.